Hello everyone, Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com. Wanted to just make a video going over the best names of the day and of the worst names of the day. And today there was only one really bad name, and there are actually four stocks I want to go over on the good side. Despite the market having basically a roller coaster session and a weak close, overall, it wasn't that bad. I had just as many stocks go up as I had go down in my portfolio, and the stocks that went up more than the stocks that went down overall. But there is a lesson to learn in a bad name. So let's take a look at it, because it's a name that just recently was constantly it was actually shown this weekend as one of my top gainers. Now, if you remember, I said this weekend, 50% of my sell stops, profit stops now, because the entry was back here, was here, and my final stop was here. Now, initially, I thought about doing 50, 25, 25, but this morning I saw what was happening with RBZ in the pre-market and immediately consolidated it 50, 50. And during the intraday session, I was not completely out of RBZ. Now, thankfully, thanks to profit targets, I was able to leave the entire position in aggregate with gains, thanks to my trailing profit stop that I always employ whenever a stock is moving higher, and by also having good to cancel sell limits. So I had 50% at 268 as we went over this weekend, and it hit that 268 level intraday on Friday, knocking me out of 50% of what I had left of RBZ after it already hit 50% of my price targets following my entry the very next session when it traded to 268. So I was out of half on day one, and I was out of half of what was left on Friday, which then led to today's session, eclipsing both of my stops. That's why you don't see an arrow in this chart. But I want to let everybody know once again, guys, I don't stick around in losing positions. If I go long something and it doesn't go up immediately, I start getting out. Now, I'm not super aggressive. If I was with RBZ initially, I would have drawn an uptrend line here, and whenever RBZ closed below the uptrend line, I would have gotten out of the position. But now at this point, since we've lost that green balance of power leading into today, if you happen to still be long RBZ, there is now no reason whatsoever to still be long this stock. So RBZ, if anyone is in it, you're trying to catch a falling knife here, as it's broken critical support on heavier above average volume, and this is just a turd of a stock. So RBZ, I'm done with it. I'm out of it. Got lucky, left with gains. Doesn't always happen whenever you get a gap down. RBZ could have gapped down to, let's say, 4 cents, and then that small position I had left, probably, I still think I would have left with a gain based on already taking profits on basically 66% of the position, or 75% with that trailing good to cancel profit stop that I had here as it started to move down here. So overall, good day, but RBZ is an example of a failure, and I don't stick around. There is no hoping. If I had a position in RBZ still, if I was still long RBZ, I would set a good to cancel sell stop order at 149. And if RBZ touches 149 on Tuesday, goodbye, but I don't have to worry about that because I'm not in it. So now let's go over some winners. Now, GHSI, we already know this is a winner of mine. You can see the white arrow the next day after going long. This stock on an end-of-day basis is still up 140%. I currently have half of the remaining position profit target here at 79 cents. So if it hits 79 cents on Tuesday, I'll be out there. And then I also have another profit target. I actually think that I have mine at 1. You know, I could actually go look really quick over here at my other computer. Let me look at it. Yep, 78.90 is my first profit target on the remaining shares that I have, and $1 is my next profit target on what I have left. And I have 4 trailing good to cancel sell stops right now. I have 25%, 1 cent below the 920 low a day, 25% below the 919 low a day, 25% here, and then right now I'm giving it room to work to down here. But I want to remind everybody, if you want to be super aggressive and you are long GHSI with me, you can draw an uptrend line like that. And if GHSI closes below that uptrend line, you can just take your gains, take the money, and run. But still, for now, a 140% gain I'll take that any day. Let's compare that to, let's say, if you would have been trading on an end-of-day basis to RBZ. RBZ would have left you with a 12% loss. That 12% loss compared to this 140% gain is a kind of reward to risk ratio and gain to pain ratio that I look for in my trades. The next stock I want to go over is also a recent long position, DYAI. You can see the hammer candle right here. I want to show you what the GHSI we've already gone over, but DYAI, this was a new long position because it's creating a bullish hammer candle reversal chart pattern price bar right off previous support, which used to be previous resistance. So resistance becomes support, big reversal, big volume, big bop. Doesn't mean it's going to work, but still with DYAI right out the gate, there's only one stop level when I go long. 492. A close below 492, I am out. That didn't happen. Immediately worked. I immediately now move up. 50% of my sell stops are here, 50% here. That being said, DYAI has worked perfectly, hasn't triggered any stops since going long 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sessions ago. DYAI is up 24%. Woohoo! But I'll be putting a stop here. A profit stop goes here. Profit stop here. Got a stop here. That's a profit stop too. Sell stop, sell stop. So I'm a little bit different with, well, like I said, I only pay $1 in commissions. I take at least the minimum position size per trade on my end is $5,000, just to give you an example of how much my commissions are relative to how much money I'm putting into these trades. So DYAI, I'm going 1, 2, 3 profit stops, 2 sell stops. But once again, on DYAI, if you want to be aggressive and you only want to be long this stock as it trends higher, there's your uptrend line. A close below it and DYAI, you are out. Also, want to show you one that worked really well today, but it's not a huge winner. AMRC. AMRC was a quality long position. Once again, same kind of similar situation as DYAI. You got a bullish hammer candle pattern right here, right off previous strong price support level, which was also price support here. It broke it, retook it, reheld it. Then we get this hammer candle right off of it on heavier above average volume with the increase in green bop, and AMRC happened to work out immediately. Doesn't always work like that. Hasn't triggered any stops either. So with the position with AMRC, I'm going to have a profit stop below this level, a profit stop here, and then 1 sell stop here. So right now, I am working with 3 stops, 1, 2, 3. 2 of the 3 are for profits. But once again, if you want to get aggressive, you can draw an uptrend line below those recent lows. And when AMRC closes below that uptrend line, you will just get out. But what is the gain on this stock? 13% in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, 13%. Not bad for a normally slow moving stock. And then I want to GHSI DYAI AMRC. Let's just review one more. That's a big winner, but I only have a little bit left. So, you know, I'm not going to pretend like I have a big position left in this one. But ENLV, you can see here on ENLV, I'll show you what the long signal looked like when I went long. ENLV basically came from my Perfect Speculator quality scan. If you do not know what that is, you got to pick up the Perfect Speculator book by Brad Kodeshwar, and it will show you exactly what I'm looking for. And I place those requirements to a scan. I scan for these stocks. ENLV shows up on this session, and here's what I saw that day. I have a bullish hammer, candle over candle, heavier, slightly above average volume, and BOP is increasing overall to a higher green level and is overall trending up off the lows with no big dips along the way. So I went long ENLV on this day, and as you can see, immediately didn't work out well. So immediately, I'm out of 50%. But my final stop on ENLV was right here, right around that 200-day moving average. As you can see, it came very, very close to stopping me out. But it reversed higher on 529, and after that, whoops, it's just been up, 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 and away. Right here, I then took what I had left of my position in ENLV and moved my final profit stop to 1 cent below this day, 17.16. Why? Look at the huge sell-off, and notice how balance of power goes red. I do not, since I'm already out of half of it and I don't have a huge position, if I had a huge the original size position, I would just have put 50% here and put the final 50% right here to give it some wiggle room in case it would have violated that 724 low a day and then reverse back higher. But as it is, since I was already out of half and I only had half of the original position left with the 55% gain, I wanted to make sure that I at least left with that kind of gain if it didn't work out. The good news is, for me, ENLV did not trigger below that level and has done nothing but move higher since. So, since the long position in ENLV, it's up 210% in 4 months. Unfortunately, I only have half, so let's reduce that in half. That's still a 105% gain, basically, on the stock since that original entry 4 months ago. But let's say you kept wider stops, you worked on an end-of-day basis, and your final stop was right here. You never, ever would have been taken out of the stock, and ENLV would be a nice 210% gain for you. So now, just to let everybody know what I currently have on ENLV with this recent price action, I want to make sure that I go ahead and lock in a lot of it. See this big, tall volume bar before these volume bars? I have 1/3 of my stops, profit stops right here. I have another third right here, 1 cent below the 828 low a day, and my final profit stop on ENLV currently is 724. But once again, there's a way you can do this. If you just now want to make sure you lock in profits in just one whole, one cell batch, you draw an uptrend line, connecting this low to this low, and there's your uptrend line, a close below it on ENLV. You would get completely knocked out. Busy, noisy day on Monday for the overall stock market. I head into Tuesday's session with less than 1% cash on hand for the new long positions. You can see that I posted the new watch list on Twitter and Stock Twits. You got to be a member to view the full commentary, the good to cancel buy stop limit levels and the good to cancel sell stop levels and the reasoning behind and the charts of the new long positions. But still, you can see what stocks I'm looking at trading come tomorrow's session. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, retweet, share it, do whatever you want to do just to give me some love. I really, really, really appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone that watched the video. Have a great rest of your Monday evening. Aloha.